everyone, it's Lorinda. Just wanted to show you my Halloween tag that I made for Gail Craft's Halloween banner swap. She had joined my Welcome Spring banner swap back in spring, and now she's hosting her own Halloween banner swap, and I had joined her, and I was assigned the letter O, and her theme was vintage. So this is what I made, and I wanted to share with you, and I also wanted to show you how I made it. So let's get started. I'm going to walk you through step by step, and I actually have a whole bunch of tips up my sleeves to show you today. So here's my chipboard. It's 4x6, and I'm just going to glue my the background that I've chosen. This is just Making Memories Halloween pattern paper. So anyway, it's double-sided, and I'm going to use the black one with some Halloween text on there. And I wanted to show you a couple of products that I've been using over the years, and they work fairly well on adhering big pieces of big pieces together. So I've used Mod Podge too, but I'm going to show you two different products today. So I've also used this quick dry adhesive, but I don't like using this for adhering my background because it just dries too quick, because it says quick dry. But I use it for other things. But for adhering my background, like I said, I use Sobo glue, and it's just white glue that you can find just where they have all the other liquid glues at Michael's or Joann. And I have it in this jar because I have it thinned down with some water. So I have about 2/3 to 1 part water. It's fairly watery. So I used that. I know you don't need a tutorial on how to glue that, but I just wanted to show you how these two products work. Okay, so like I said, it's very watery, and I just spread it onto my chipboard. Okay, just like that, making sure that the corners are all covered. Okay, and one trick that I wanted to show you, I'm sure I don't, if you know this, good, but if you don't know it, I'm going to share it with you. When I do glue, when you do decoupage or collage, it's best to spray the back of your the image with water, and it adheres better. You do this also when you're using Mod Podge, and it just works really, really good. Okay, so you're gonna just stick down your paper onto your chipboard, and then you're gonna let it dry. Let's clean off our mat here, and then I'm going to show you the other product that I wanted to show you here. This is the Yes paste. It's acid-free. The Sobo glue doesn't say acid-free on the jar, but I've been using it for years, and I'll tell you in 100 years if it's acid-free. So anyway, this one does say acid-free. Incidentally, Mod Podge doesn't say it's acid-free either, but we've all been using it. So if you're concerned about the acidity of your paste, this one does say acid-free. Okay, and the consistency of this is like Vaseline. And what I use to apply this glue is an old credit card. So I just scoop up a good amount right there. So it's like it's paste. It's like Vaseline, and then you just spread it onto your chipboard, making sure that you have plenty to go, especially on the corner. Making sure that your pattern paper adheres really well. It's very, very sticky, so I recommend having a wet rag right next to you, just to clean off your fingers if you do get some glue onto your fingers. And then you just stick that on, and this glue, when you use this for your background, if you end up using your heat gun for your project, it doesn't bubble up. So that's why I like these two products. Okay, so we're just going to leave that over on the side to dry. I'm going to clean off my craft mat with some wet rag. Okay, so those are two products that I like to use when I adhere my background to my chipboard. Okay, so next we're going to work on our lace. Okay, so this lace, I have some vintage lace that are, they're really old. I got them from an antique shop, and they're kind of like flimsy like this. So what I do is I use fabric stiffener. I've used this before. I think I've shown it. I've used it for my stiffened burlap. That works really well. And this one, I had just gotten this a couple months ago, and it's because I like it because it's spray. But doggone it, it doesn't work. Okay, so what I did was I transferred some to this thing. It's like one of those things that you use when you make candies. It's Wilton's. It's for candy making. So I just put a little bit on here, and I'm just gonna pour it onto the top. I don't want to stiffen the fringe on the bottom. I just want to stiffen up the top part. So I hope you can see this well. So I just kind of squeeze it over the top right there, making sure that whatever I want to make stiff is saturated with that solution right there. So okay, so I'm just gonna stretch it out. I'm using this plastic little recycled container. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there to dry. I don't know if you can see. So leave it to dry. I usually do this, leave it out overnight, and I have some here that are already dry, just to save time. Right here. Okay. Put this aside. Oh, you know what? Before I show you this, I wanted to also show you what I did on my my board. Okay. I have this template. I use this all the time, and I only chipped off one side, and that's what I use to chip off the corner of my tag. So I just do that, and then just flip it over and do it on the other side. Okay. And I also have the guide for my hole right there, which I'm going to do later. Okay. And then what I do is I use just some acrylic paint that I thinned down with water. I have some water right here. A few drops of water. Actually, I want more. Okay, and then this is for the sides, and I just paint on the sides like this, just to distress the sides, and the side of the chipboard. You want to hide the color, the brown of the chipboard. And then when I finished that, what I did too was, since the paint is thinned down with water, it's very watery, I just scoop a bunch of them into my brush, and then I just put a whole bunch on top and let it drip down. It gives it a little more spookier feel to it. There. If you want more, just get a little bit more, and then just let it slide and drip all over. Woo! Black blood. Spooky. Okay? So when you're satisfied with the way that's done, just leave it aside to dry. Of course, I have one here that's dry, and I also painted the back of this. Okay? So I'm gonna show you the lace that's already dry, and then I have another tip on this. Okay? So what I do is I use my hot glue. You see how intricate this design is? Use your hot glue and then put it on all the edges or all the sides that you can put glue on. See, and I'm not hurrying, because what I want to do is, once I've done all that and I've gotten hot glue on all the intricate areas of the lace, I actually let it dry. And then what I do is, I have one here that's all dry. So you have hot glue dried up on that side, on all of them. And then I put it on my piece where I want it. And I use this, here's another tip. I use this silicone, it's a trivet. And it's made by Le Creuset. I don't speak French. But anyway, so that's that I use that to protect my mat and my